everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a decluttering video. I feel like I have hinted at me doing a decluttering video, or not hinted, but I've been saying I'm going to do one soon, and I'm so sorry it's taking me this long, but I have a lot of stuff that I want to share with you guys. There was just like a spark ignited in me to really film one of these videos because I was just going through my drawers one day. I was like, you know, I have so much makeup in here that doesn't get used that I really want to just like get rid of. Some of these I am going to give to my friends. Some of these I'm just going to, you know, obviously toss in the trash because it's expired or it's obviously unsanitary for someone else to use it again. I do enjoy these videos. I know it can be very therapeutic. I know one of my best friends, Sabrina, she's always like, I love decluttering videos. So I told her I was making this and she was super excited. So this one's for you, Sabrina. By the way, I do want to throw out maybe like a small disclaimer that just because I'm getting rid of these does not mean that it's disappointing or these products are bad. Just don't use them for whatever reason I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. If you want to see all the products that I will be decluttering, don't forget to please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you know when I post, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so similarly to my empties videos, I'm just going to take stuff out as I see fit. Okay, so first things first, we're going to get rid of the e.l.f. Prep and Hydrate Balm. I really do like this balm, but as you can see, it's pretty much almost done. I wouldn't fully consider it an empty, but honestly, I've had this for 4 years now that it's got to be unhygienic. So this is definitely an expired case, but I did really like this product. I liked how cooling it felt on the skin. If you're familiar with the Milk cooling balm, it's basically like a drugstore dupe for that. Even though I have oily skin, I really did appreciate it, you know, as kind of like a one and done like primer moisturizer combo. But if you have dry skin, this is like a great supplement to your moisturizer before makeup. So I really did like the experience, as it has water, shea, vitamin E, a lot of good stuff. Okay, something else I'm probably gonna throw away as well because it's just probably not hygienic to give away falsies, are the Colourpop Falsies, and these are in the style Minx. Looks like this. I've only worn these twice, I think, but there's something about this shape, and I think Colourpop Falsies in general that I don't think works for me. You see how they're completely like straight? These are lashes that don't conform to your eye, or at least they don't conform to my eye. So when I would try to put them on, you know, it would just always stick up, and I don't know, the band is very like stretchy and malleable, but as you can see, it doesn't stay. For example, these are like magnetic falsies, but it's the same thing. You see how they're like naturally curved, kind of like for your eye. These are so interesting in that they're completely straight. They stay straight. And I find that, you know, you would think like, oh, in the packaging, it doesn't matter because, you know, whatever. But they stay like this when you put it on your eye. They don't conform to your eye. So I always found that I would always have to like try to manipulate them so they would stay. And I don't have the time for that. I have so many other falsies in my collection I like more that I think perform better. So for that reason, I'm just going to be tossing this as well. Okay, something else that I've had for a really long time that I'm decluttering is this guy right here. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contour Palette. This came in a duo where the left side was like a bright brightening shade that I really did like. And I do like this contouring shade too. It's very creamy, very soft. It honestly, in my opinion, is more of a bronzer. But I have so many other bronzers in my collection that my drawer does not accommodate like having this in there because it's like so bulky and big that I'm just going to get rid of it because I have so many other bronzers, and you know, I just feel like it doesn't really do much of a purpose. It is very pigmented, a very soft powder. It's not my favorite though, and I don't feel like it justifies me hanging on to it because I just don't use it anymore. Okay, this is something that is a true declutter. There's no real rhyme or reason behind it other than the fact that I don't really use it that much. This is the Makeup Revolution Reloaded Iconic Vitality Palette. I do really like this palette. Honestly, it's the dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance, but I have so many other shades like this in my collection that I was just like, oh, it's not worth me holding on to. I mean, I love the browns, I love the neutrals, and honestly, this is a great palette. That's why I'm saying this is not disappointing. It's just I have so many other in my collection that I use and I reach for over this one. The only shade that I really did reach for this palette for, honestly, was this really pretty lilac purple, and it is such a nice, beautiful, like light lavender shade that I feel like is pretty unique. But I do have other palettes in my collection that do have this shade or something very similar. So for that reason, I just don't feel comfortable holding on to this because I was like, maybe someone else can enjoy it. But if you want to see pretty much all of the eyeshadow palettes in my collection, I will link that video down below. I did one last year, and the palettes that I have added to it since you've seen in either BoxyCharm unboxings or hauls or whatnot. So I feel like I've shown pretty much every palette that I own currently, but yes, if you want to see like a pretty general, comprehensive collection. I will link that down below. Okay, another palette that I'm getting rid of that I actually did a makeup tutorial with this last year. It was kind of like my therapeutic big smoky eye. This is the Covergirl Overthrown palette, and honestly, this is a good palette. I was shocked by how impressive the pigmentation is. It's so freaking good. Pigmented, so beautiful. This shade Never Again is so stunning. Like, oh my god, like some of these shades are so incredibly pigmented. Like, I honestly can't even deal. Like, I'll show you. Like, look at that. This is a freaking amazing palette, and for the price, it's truly, truly wonderful. Again, I'm just getting rid of it because I don't really use it. I don't typically reach for colors like in this category, except for the bronzes and stuff, but this jewel tone blue and green are great for like accent looks if I really want to go for that, but I just wasn't using it, so I'm like, ugh, I need to get rid of it because it's taking up room in my drawer. And yeah, so that's also going as well. I'm gonna go through the rest of my palettes that I'm also getting rid of. The BH Cosmetics Summer Livin' palette, I bought this like 2 years ago. This is a great travel palette. I would always take this with me to LA or whatnot. It's got a great little mirror, and you got a lot of these fun little colors in here. This purple right here is my favorite shade in the entire palette. Like, whoo, it's so beautiful. These shades do perform pretty well, but again, I just don't reach for it. I love the packaging. It doesn't have the best pigmentation, I will say, but for the range you get, I think it's really nice. Another one, oh my gosh, this pains me too, but this is such a cute little palette. This is the Storybook Cosmetics Fairytale palette. I'm getting rid of this honestly because of the packaging. It's weird because the packaging is what makes it so cute and unique. It's like a little book, but at the same time, it's so bulky in my drawer for shades that I don't use often. These are beautiful transition shades, so creamy, so buttery. I did a whole look using these shades 2 years ago, and obviously like these reds are so beautiful. The red is a standout, but I have a very similar palette that is red focus. That is the Colourpop main squeeze palette, which I will show you is right here. And you can see like this, obviously it's not an identical color story, but red is the main focus of this palette, and then this palette, and this packaging is just so much easier to travel with. It's stores so much better, so for that reason, I'm gonna get rid of this because red eyeshadow isn't a color I use super often in my makeup, so I don't want to hold on to something that I have like a duplicate of, do you know what I mean? Because it's not like a brown or neutral palette, it's something that I rarely use, so I feel like I only have room in my collection for one, or at least if this was smaller, I maybe would keep it, but because it's not, going bye-bye. Okay, and then I have two palettes, honestly, one of which is brand new. I didn't even take the film off of this mirror. It's so good. This is the Blink Evening Glamour palette. I used this in one BoxyCharm unboxing when I first got it, and it's really pretty. Like, you can see the shades in action in that video, but you get two blushes here. You get some nice shades. I honestly felt like this palette was missing a transition shade, but you have a really nice black, a really nice matte brown, and then some nice shimmery shades and a white. It just is missing that transition shade. If it had that, it would be the perfect, most cohesive palette. And obviously you can always dip into a bronzer or something else to make it complete, but I'm not knocking the quality of this palette. I think it's good. I just don't use it enough. And okay, next up we have the B by Bubs Beauty BH Cosmetics 12 color eyeshadow palette. It's full of nice bronzes and purples, which I did a whole tutorial like 2 years ago. It was a makeup tutorial dedicated to brown eyes because I have brown eyes, and in my opinion, browns and purples really make your brown eyes pop. Hazel eyes, green eyes. So I did a whole tutorial using this palette. I love that look that I came up with. It's natural but smoky enough where you can take it day to night. But I really do like these shades. You get a nice array of coppers and browns and these two really beautiful purples. But my Violet Voss hashtag palette, which is one of my all-time favorite palettes, I'll never get rid of it. That's dedicated to like purples, and I have so many other bronze and neutrals that I just need to declutter this because I don't use it. A couple of lip products I want to quickly run through. The NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Abu Dhabi. Such a beautiful shade. It's so quintessential. It's like a really pretty, nice mauvey nude, but I don't reach for this formula anymore because I have so many other liquid lipsticks, and although I do really like the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams and I love this packaging, I find that better formulas have come out since. This is kind of moussey and it does kind of slip and slide everywhere, so getting rid of that. I'm also getting rid of my Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer. It's just old. This is a great affordable lash primer. I love the Marc Jacobs one. That's the one I use today. That's the one I typically use. But if you're looking for a nice affordable lash primer, this is a great alternative. Essence mascaras in general, I will say it till the day I die. A couple of eyeliners. This one, the Essence Super Fine Waterproof Liner, is dried out almost instantly. Like, you really have to dig in there for like a nice line. And because look, if you barely apply any pressure, you don't get any payoff. You really have to like dig into it like that on the side, and I just don't have time for that, so that's going away as well. And then the Cream Shop liquid highlight, honestly, this is so cute. I got it in a BoxyCharm, and it's one of those like glow highlights where you put your finger into the cushion and then you just kind of like pat it all over, which honestly I thought would be beautiful for like the body, because it's not great for the face and from what I found. But I have so many other things, like I have my dry oils, I have, you know, my shimmering spray from Iconic London that I use for my chest today. I have regular highlights that I can just apply to my body to get a similar effect, that I just found this extraneous, so I'm gonna give this away. Another highlighter that I did like, but honestly not enough for me to hold on to, is the e.l.f. White Gold highlight. I believe this is called the Molten Glow highlighter. There's barely any payoff. I mean, like, yeah, it looks like a lot when you swatch it there, but when you put it on your skin, it really, you have to really dig into it. And I'm just somebody who, either you are going to tout a metallic highlighter and then I'm going to get payoff instantly and that'll be good, or I'm going to expect like a more natural finish. And this is kind of in a weird in between that I just don't feel compelled to keep it. Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink Blush. This is an OG. It's the OG NARS Orgasm dupe. Really pretty. I've just had it for so long that I'm gonna throw it away, get rid of it. It's just so old, and the payoff is starting to become very chalky and not blend as well on the skin, so for that reason it's going bye-bye. Okay, the Burt's Bees Replenishing Lip Balm. This is just so old, I'm gonna get rid of it. The Ulta Eyeliner Pencil in Blackout. I have a lot of other black eyeliners. This one's not bad, but honestly I did feel like you have to tug a little bit at, this is one of the examples of the wooden eyeliners that I do feel like doesn't give you payoff when you try to swipe it on your waterline or whatever, versus something like the No. 7 eyeliner or the Essence liner that are both in wooden packaging. So this is one that I don't really want to keep because it's not very good. This is the Studio Makeup Cream Eyeshadow. I honestly am getting rid of this because look, it's so pretty, right? Like gorgeous. But honestly, I'm looking for something with more of a punch, and because I have the Stila Magnificent glitter in the shade Kitten Karma, I didn't feel like I needed to keep this, so I'm passing this along. Then I have two lip liners. One of them is the Ulta Lip Pencil in the shade Bittersweet. I have nothing against this product, I just, you know, don't use it, so I'm gonna throw that away. And then this, oh my god, I think this was my mom's, honestly. She's had this for like 10 plus years. This is the Covergirl Outlast Smooth Wear lip liner that honestly would have paired really nicely with my lip today. I'm currently wearing Too Faced Melted in the shade Melted Berry, which I didn't put on a lip liner or anything today, but if I were to, this would have been a great lip liner for it because it's a really nice berry shade. I don't want to hold on to it because I rarely use it and it's so old. I get kind of like nervous putting it around my lips. This is the Milani Most Wanted mascara, and I never reach for this because it didn't do anything pretty much. So I am going to part ways and say goodbye to her. Ooh, this is a good palette. Okay, this is the BH Cosmetics Blush Neutrals 26 color eyeshadow and blush palette. This is a great palette. It's got a bunch of neutral matte shades and nice blushes. So yeah, this is nothing wrong with it. I just never used it. I typically don't use like 2-in-1 palettes, and I don't know if that's just like in my head, but it has a really nice array of matte shadows and whatnot, so I am just going to give this away. Okay, next up we have this Found BB cream, which I honestly bought 2 years ago, and I do like this a lot. I used to mix this a lot with stuff, but honestly I just haven't really been reaching for it. I think the coverage is a little bit too sheer. It's a little too like dewy, but I do like this brand as a whole and would definitely recommend, if you guys have a Walmart around you, check out Found Beauty. They have a bunch of great skincare that's really natural and whatnot, but I'm just gonna get rid of this. And then the BH Cosmetics Floral Blush in the shade Caribbean Coral. This is just so pigmented, like the most pigmented blush, but not in a good way. It's like one tap and then you just like have clown cheeks. So I'm gonna give this away, but it's nothing bad. It's a really soft formula. Once you do blend it out, you just have to take a little bit to get there. Then a couple of lip products. I am getting rid of this Ulta Beauty lipstick. I'm not going to give this away because it's like obviously used, but this is a really nice nude lipstick. I just never I mean, honestly, it's so pretty though. I just never reach for it. This is in the shade Pink Chocolate. I'm also going to get rid of this Ofra liquid lipstick in the shade I don't know what it, Monaco, just because it's so pretty, but I never use a metallic lipstick like that, like ever. I do love the Ofra formula. I have a bunch of her products, but that one is just a no-go for me. The NYX Butter Lipstick is a really pretty lipstick and I've had it for so long. It's a really glossy, creamy, lipstick, but it's kind of like a sheer wash of color and it wears off really easily, and it's so old that I don't feel the need to keep it, so I'm going to pass her along, or in the trash can. Ooh, this one's a good one. This is the iconic London Plumping lip gloss, and this is just in a shade that's so bright. This is Peekaboo, and I really do like this formula, but I would just never use something this bright pink. I do have another shade of the iconic London formula in the shade Sex Kitten, which I am keeping. It's not anything against the brand, it's not anything against the formula, it's just the color's too like baby fluorescent pink for me. Okay, then I'm also getting rid of the Colourpop Bff Mascara. This one just dried out. It's honestly more of an empty, but I wouldn't repurchase this because for some reason, I don't think it's that good. I think the formula is almost too dry and it doesn't really like grip onto your lashes. You don't get like that black, like lengthening, thickening effect from it. So I am going to throw this out. Another Overthrown lipstick that I am decluttering is this one right here. This is in a collaboration with Nikki Tutorials. This is the Coven liquid lipstick. So beautiful for Halloween and so vampy. It's like a metallic copper brown. But again, when do I wear metallic copper browns? When does anybody wear that except for like Halloween maybe? But even then I was just like, ugh, I'm not using it. It's just sitting in my collection. I'm gonna get rid of this. The Lipland Lipstick was a collaboration with Nicole Concilio and Lipland. I bought honestly 5 years ago. It's still pigmented and still like very creamy. I love this kind of color and it's a nice matte formula, but it's so old that I'm gonna get rid of it. Okay, the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, man, I don't use this anymore. And it's also old too, but for some reason the color just kind of stopped showing up on my skin. It's called bronzer, so it's like the regular formula, but yeah, it's honestly one I don't reach for at all anymore because it's so light. Okay, a few more products, stay with me. Another pair of Colourpop Falsies I'm getting rid of that are actually really pretty. These are the style Mommy, and as you can see, these ones are a little bit better. They're not like completely flat, but again, these are ones that never stayed on my lids. I think I did a makeup tutorial with these and they're really pretty, but you could see them kind of coming off and they were like fresh when I used them for that tutorial, I believe. So I don't know, for some reason these don't stay on my eyes. I don't know if it's just me. The e.l.f. finishing powder in the shade Medium Dark was a great bronzer because it is a pressed powder like meant to set your face. I found that I did a really good job of not removing any of the product underneath when I would go to bronze my face. It's a really soft silky powder, but again, I've had this since 2016, 2017, so she is a little old. The Milani lipstick in the shade Matte Luxe is another pretty orange shade. So pretty, so vibrant. It's just a beautiful, fun time. But again, every time I would put it on, I'd be like, Ashley, you look like a clown. You should probably not wear that. So I'm finally getting rid of her after being in denial many times. The e.l.f. shadow in the shade Blushing Rose. This is something that's also old. It's basically like a liquid eyeshadow. It's good. I honestly don't use it though. It's not great. You can see that when you blend it out, it kind of like fades into oblivion. So I didn't feel like it had enough staying power for me to keep it around, so she is going out. And then the last product I want to mention is the Tarte lip gloss in the shade Flaming Hot. It's a really kind of pretty holographic, like three-dimensional bluish purple pink gloss. Like it has really nice reflex, but again, I was just never wearing this color, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get rid of it because it's not my vibe. All right, everybody, and that concludes, ooh, I should probably wipe my hands. That concludes this decluttering video. I hope you guys enjoyed, as I'm wiping off the swatches, I hope you guys enjoyed this rundown of products that I'm getting rid of. Again, I don't want this to be confused with a disappointing products video because these were all products that I have used, but I'm just getting rid of because they're either old, expired, don't work anymore, I don't use anymore, you know. But yeah, I would love to know in the comments below what products you have maybe decluttered recently, and what your thoughts are on any of the products that I mentioned today. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did, please, and hopefully I will see you in my next one.